Welcome. You have just been ushered past security and into the private meeting of the most lucrative and misunderstood industry in the entire world, real estate investing. What you're about to hear rarely leaves closed doors, because we're taking a deep dive into the anatomy of deals, battle-tested strategies, and the psychological makeup of sellers, understanding what pressures them, what drives them, and what makes them say yes. Most people only see the surface level stuff, but we operate underneath it. I'm your host, Dayton, alongside Keith and special guests, and this is the First Deal Podcast. If you had to build your entire portfolio all over again, knowing what you know now, what would you do in year 1, year 3, and year 5?
There's two things that I would do differently than what I did in my original year 1, year 3, and year 5. The first is in year 1, the first thing that I would do different is I would get some kind of inbound marketing coming to me. I realize that inbound marketing is more expensive than outbound marketing or sweat marketing is. And so some people may have an issue with what I'm about to say, but I feel like I can overcome this pretty easily with like hybrid marketing. I mean, bandit signs is the most classic, cheap example to use, where technically it's outbound marketing because you're going out and you're placing the signs, but some would argue, well, technically it's inbound marketing because they're the ones who's calling you, right? And so I like that a lot. You're only talking to people who want to talk to you because they're taking some sort of initiative to call you. Same thing is to be said about direct mail, although direct mail is substantially more two things. It's more specific, it's more dialed in. You're laser focused on exactly what you're wanting. And speaking of which, our new software that's coming out, we're finalizing some things. I think I talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago about the software that's going to be launching. I've been playing around with some of the filters, and you can really dial this in of like, let's say that I wanted to get some rentals here. Well, I would only want like 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom houses that have at least 1.5 baths. I wouldn't want them to be built anytime later than like 1980 or so. I'd want them to be single story, and I would want them to be valued somewhere between like $150,000 and $250,000, and I would want it to be high equity, out of state, absentee owner who, I don't know, like what's another thing that we can stack that has recently received some sort of a code violation, or it hasn't paid their taxes, something like this. So I just pulled a report like that. I really did, like in my area, and there was only like, it was less than 200. I don't remember if it was 130 or 180 or something like that. But point being, you can get really laser focused on exactly what you are trying to go after. But the second thing that I'll mention with direct mail in comparison with bandit signs is that it's significantly more expensive, right? If you're going to send a postcard, it's going to run you about 50 cents. If you wanted to do a direct mail piece, it's going to be about $1.15 or so. There's different sizes of postcards and there's different kinds of direct mail. This is a generalization though. And so it's going to be kind of expensive, and you should expect about a 1%, maybe a 2% response rate. So if I'm only sending 150 people a letter, I really can only get 1 to 2 positive responses statistically. Now, the better the list, like the more motivated that list, the more inherent motivation that list has, the higher response rates you can get. But 1 to 2 is considered industry standard. Now, with bandit signs, you could put out, a couple $100 of bandit signs, and that'll last you a whole month of marketing. And all those people are contacting you, which I really, really like. So it comes down to, what do you want to do differently? Do you want to reach very specific types of people, or do you want them coming to you? I like it when people come to me. So I wish that I had started bandit signs much sooner in year one, because it's a really, really cheap way of getting people coming to you. The second thing that I would do differently is I kind of shunned calling listings, whether they be FSBO, for sale by owner, or with a realtor. And like every single one of them has a house and they want to sell it. It's listed online. Like they're all going to be motivated. And so again, driving it back to our software, like I'm creating the things that I wish I had 10 years ago. Literally, that's like, I want to be the person in the company that I wish I had a decade ago. For example, Deal Labs, which is going to be going into Deal Base, our CRM, has the ability to show you on market listings, and we analyze them for you and we put them in priority order. We rank them and we put them in priority order, so you can start at the top and work your way down. And statistically, you're only going to have to contact 21 to 22 of them before you get a deal under contract. So it's super cheap. It's $100, and you're going to get a lot of leads. You're going to get what is 5,000 divided by 60? You're going to get about 83 leads for $100. So
It's pretty good.
that's just over $1 a lead. Like, my God. And each one of these people is interested in selling their house. Yeah. And we've already analyzed the deal for you. Like we're pulling in the rent from Rentometer and Rentcast and HUD, so you can see what the Section 8 is. We're analyzing the deal for you. And then also looking at a whole myriad of things, like how many times have they dropped the price? How long has it been on days on market? Do they have anything in the listing description that indicates they're super motivated? Those are the two things that I think I would have done differently in year one, is get people to come to me. I just want to talk to interested folks. I was just doing all the cold calling and all the direct mail and all this. I was just blowing money talking to people who didn't want to talk to me. Year one. Year three, I would have started to hold on to houses. Okay. I understand that you're going to probably spend a lot of money on your business the first 1 to 2 years, but certainly by year three, at that point, the business needs to be off the ground and it needs to be churning, generating revenue for you and your family. So I wish that I had held on to houses. I didn't start holding on to houses until year 8, which is to this day my biggest regret in all my whole life. I sold every single property, every single deal for the first 8 years, didn't hold on to a single one of them. So that has put me, I feel like, much further behind than where I could be. And that's what I would have changed at year 3. Just hold on. Really, what I think I wish I had done is 1 out of every 3 to 4 houses. Out of 3 to 4 houses, you hold on to one of them, you're going to be in a really good position in just a couple of years. Year 5. Man, I wouldn't do anything different in year 5. Year 5 was really good for us. I had grown a team. I had systemized a lot of things. We were documenting things. We were organized. We were structured. We were strategic. We made different, really unique plays with the marketing that we were doing, as well as the type of exit strategies that we were doing. Yeah, I'm really proud of how we did year 5. I don't think I would change anything. Was that your question? What I would change, like what I would do? I was starting all over again.
What would you do differently in year 1, 3, and 5?
Yeah, by year 5, I think that pretty much everybody should have a team, even if it's a small team, even if it's literally just a virtual assistant helping you. Every entrepreneur needs help because typically you're a visionary, which means that you don't actually like getting stuff done. You constantly are getting struck by the elusive, amazing, whiz-bang, shiny object syndrome. And squirrel, you're distracted over there and you never finish anything. You have all these wonderful ideas, but you don't actually get anything done. And so I think it's so helpful, so important to begin building a team. Again, if you want to be a solopreneur, if you've spent your life in corporate America managing people and you don't want to babysit anybody, I totally understand that. But having, at a minimum, having an executive assistant to help you with the mundane minutia, the repetitive tasks, I think that that's necessary. Ideally, though, I think that you could probably sustain 3 to 10 people by year 5 on your business. Have a lead manager, an acquisition manager, a transaction coordinator, project manager, a dispo manager, maybe a marketing person, whether that be social media or a Google Ads person, having a general virtual assistant to do generalist type of tasks. Those are easy things to put in place, especially if you're using our system, because it's all organized, for those people to follow.
What's the one piece of conventional wisdom about real estate investing that you just think is flat out wrong?
The wholesaler's formula is ARV times 0.7 minus repairs equals max allowable offer. It's the stupidest thing you've ever seen, and you will lose your ass if you follow this, because it is void of time and expenses. Meaning, at what point in time do we start counting days on market? At what point in time do we start counting for the time of the renovation? At what point in time do we start counting what is our daily interest on the amount that we've borrowed? You cannot buy a house today and sell the house tomorrow. Not if you're doing like a retail renovation type of flip. And so, you're going to have costs. You're going to have principal and interest and taxes and insurance and utilities, water, electricity, gas, trash. There's so many expenses that go into this, and you need to be being very specific with your costs. And I would caution you that if you're using the wholesaler's formula, ARV times 0.7 minus repairs equals max allowable offer, then you take your wholesaling fee, $10,000, $20,000 out of that. I really caution you against that, because I've seen a lot of my friends lose a lot of money over the last couple of years with the market that we're entering in. It's fine when the market is appreciating, but in a stagnant or depreciating market, nobody's going to buy at 0.7. You need to be at 0.6 or 0.5.
Okay. So how would you fix that equation then if you were to spread it internet wide? This is wrong. This is the right way to do it now.
Easy. I would tell you to create a free account in Dealbase and use our deal analyzer, because our deal analyzer accounts for every expense that is possible. And you can there's default values for everything, but you can customize literally every single expense that's there. We analyze it every which way. If you're buying it with a conventional loan, if you're buying it with the DSCR loan, if you're going to buy it with a hard money or private money and then refinance out with the DSCR loan, or you're buying it subject to its underlying mortgage, or you're getting owner financing or a hybrid of both, we look at the financing every which way. On the entrance strategy, you can wholesale it, retail it, wrap it, rent it, novation, lease option. You can do all these things on the exit strategy, and you plug in a couple of basic numbers. It runs through every single strategy, both entrance and exit. So for example, it's looking at DSCR. Let's go with hard money, actually. Hard money and private money together to a wholesale. Hard money and private money to a wholesale. Hard money and private money to a retail. Hard money and private money to not retail renovation, but like to a landlord ready renovation, and then a refinance with a DSCR loan to go back and rent it out with Section 8. Like everything, you can get as creative as you want with our deal analyzer, and it will show you, it will analyze all of these things for you accurately, like dead on accurately. Hey, the comps say, Dayton, that your average days on market is 81 and your longest days on market was 172. So we're going to make sure we're going to analyze our numbers as if you were going to hold on to it for 81 days, but we're going to make sure that you borrow enough money so that if you have to hold it for 172 days, you're not going to run out of funds. So our deal analyzers, we've done deals. I've personally done deals in 34 states, but all of our clients together, we've done deals in all 50 states to include Hawaii and Alaska. So we have the data for everything when it comes to costs, both material and labor and closing costs. It's there, and everything is customizable.
So the answer to what you're saying is to replace the old formula equation, completely get rid of it, and the equation is now deal base. Just use deal base.
That's exactly correct.
Excellent.
www.reiautomated.io/deal base. That will take you. I just shot a video. You're going to be proud of it, Dayton. I just shot the video for it. It's going to be up on that website, reiautomated.io/deal base. It's about a 25-minute video. I show you the entire thing. The trial is, I think we decided on a 28-day trial for $1.
Whew.
So
that is a steal.
You're dumb
That is
if you don't
enough.
go
that
look
is
at
enough
that.
to play around with it.
Go watch the video. Yeah. I literally show you everything in the software and what we do. It's amazing.
What does financial freedom actually look like in your day-to-day life? And did it match what you imagined it would be when you first started?
I'll go in reverse order. No, it doesn't look like what I thought. I actually, in this closet here, I'd have to do a little bit of digging, but in this closet, I have a vision board. And the vision board has pictures of like high rises in Miami and this huge wood, log cabin in the woods and a massive yacht and a helicopter because I love flying. I don't have any of those things. I live in a plain house. I do live in Florida in a little beach town, and we were just at the beach 2 days ago. But no, it doesn't look anything like what I originally thought 10 years ago. I had all of these I hate to turn this into like a preachy session, but I had all of these like worldly thoughts of what I wanted my life to look like consumerism really is what I think about now. All the houses and the cars and the yacht and all this stuff. And by the way, to be really clear, I'm not saying that those things are bad, but I am saying that if you chase those things thinking that you're going to be happy, you are misinformed. And what it looks like now is, my daughter had her black belt test on Saturday. And so we had my wife's aunts and uncle and their son, her cousin, came in and stayed with us. And so we hung out on Saturday. They surprised Addie right before. When we went there, we just kept on surprising my daughter because we invited everybody. Our neighbors came, our friends came, her school friends came. We literally filled half the dojo with her fans, her supporters there to watch her get her black belt. And she was just so thankful. We got to spend not the whole day with her because then my son had a baseball game that evening. And so a whole bunch of us went to Alex's baseball game. We cheered him on. He crushed it. Then we went out to dinner. You go out to Texas Roadhouse and you're like, I need a table for 13 people. You're going to be waiting for a while. We brought everybody to dinner and it was wonderful. And then after dinner, we went to the beach and hung out even more on Sunday. It was just a chill day. Yesterday, I don't think I took one call. No, I didn't take any. I had office hours. I support our clients Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but that's literally the only call that I had. The rest of the day, I didn't have to worry about, you didn't get a message from me. I wasn't worried about Slack or text messages or emails or anything. I just do whatever I want on Monday. So I worked on a project that I'm really, really excited about. Was able to totally knock out the entire thing in one day. I'm very, very happy with it. So I say all of that to say, I believe that financial freedom really is not about money. It's what money can buy. And what money can buy is time, options, and freedom. Not total freedom. I don't think that we're supposed to be totally free, because there's always going to be somebody ruling over us. So there's going to be, for example, laws. We're not free to do whatever we want. But what I mean by that is like choice freedom. Like I want to go take my family to do something fun for my wife's birthday. So we just bought tickets and hotel stay for Nashville. I'm taking my wife to Nashville for her 30th birthday. And if we wanted to go to South Lake Tahoe, then we would have gone to South Lake Tahoe. And if we wanted to go to, I don't know, Brazil, then we would have gone to Brazil. But she wanted to go to Nashville. Cool. So the freedom to choose is super important. To choose what you're going to do and how long you're going to do it. There's I have this screenshot somewhere on my phone, but it says something to the effect of, entrepreneurship is hard, but you're wrong if you think I'm going to let another man decide what the hell I'm going to do today for the next 40 years of my life. Something like that. It's like, I serve our clients and I love our clients and I work for our clients. But at the end of the day, I can go do whatever I want, whenever I want, however long I want it, with whoever I want. Like, me and my wife are totally free. We don't have any bosses. Her office is 15 feet on the other side of that wall. Like, I can hang out with her. I can have a coffee. I can go pick up my kids' school from early. Pick up my kids from school, or I don't know how that got all jumbled up. That was a weird sentence. But we can go do what we want, and ultimately I think that what we're all chasing, it's not money, and it's not even time or options, or what was the other thing that I said? Time, options, or freedom. Because time does buy options. It gives you the ability to choose more things. It does give you time, because now you can pay other people to do things for you so that you don't have to do them. And it does give you freedom to be able to pick up and go where you want or do something different. But if we were to go one level deeper than that, I think the thing that we're wanting really, again, it's not money, that's surface level. It's not even these things. That is a little bit deeper. But really, I think at the end of the day, what we're all looking for is we're trying to buy an emotion. And dare I say, we're all kind of looking for the happiness emotion or the joy. We're trying to find joy and peace and fulfillment in life. And I think that is much easier to come by as an entrepreneur, as long as you're running your business properly, right? It's much easier to come by as an entrepreneur than it is as a W-2 employee.
That is an awesome answer, Keith. And I think we're going to end it off there. That was an awesome answer. Yeah. I think we're going to end it off there. Cool. Any final words?
All right. Guys, if you would like to submit some questions, put them in the comments. If you've watched this far, you should consider hitting the like button or subscribing to the channel. And if you want some free stuff, you should go check out the link that's in the description, because we give out a lot of it and it's very valuable. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
That's a wrap on this episode of the First Deal podcast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to us on so you never miss an episode. We drop new content regularly, and every single one is built to move the needle forward for you. In fact, you can usually find that content right here. That's all for now. We'll see you on the next one, my friends.